Hello everyone. This tutorial is going to cover some different tools that you need. This video in particular is going to cover HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you're already familiar with these terms, then feel free to skip this video and move on to the next. But for the rest of us, we're just going to do a quick overview of what these things are. So to begin with, HTML is kind of the language that websites are written in. I'm going to click over here to this page. I'll have a link to all the different pages that I'm visiting so you can see just below the video. There'll be some links. So a really basic HTML page looks like this. So it has the word HTML and it's in between these two brackets and that's called a tag. So anything with like a word in between the two brackets is called a tag. So you have an HTML tag, and that just says, hey, this is the beginning of an HTML document. And then you have a body, opening body tag, and then we have H1, which is a header, like kind of like a newspaper head. It's big and it's bold. And then P is a paragraph tag and a closing body, and then a closing HTML. So you open it up here, so you see the opening HTML and opening body, and then you close them at the end. You can also see that we have an H1 opening header tag, and we have a closing. So most tags have an opening and a closing, and that's just a really quick overview of HTML. I don't want to spend several hours going over HTML, but there are many tutorials on the web. Here's a list of a whole bunch of HTML examples. I'll have linked to this below the video, and so go ahead and take a look at that. I would really, if you really want to make money online, get traffic to your website, knowing HTML is really important, and it's not that hard to learn. It's not like a programming language. It's not that difficult. So go through these examples, and maybe even Google, HTML tutorials. There are hundreds of free ones if you just Google it. You shouldn't have to pay anything. So that's kind of an overview of HTML. The next thing is CSS, which is short for Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading style sheets allow you to change the color or the look and feel of your website in one single document. So the old way of doing things was I would have a web page with, say, 20 different pages, and if I wanted to change the font size or the color of the text or the background of each page, I had to go to each page and change it individually, and it was a major pain, especially when you had a site with hundreds of pages. So several years ago, they came up with cascading style sheets, and what this does is it puts all of that formatting information into one place, and so it makes it easy so you can change the the background or the font size or whatever for everything in one place. So that's another thing I would spend some time just getting to know. You don't have to be a guru, but just spend maybe an hour or so online and just get to know cascading style sheets. I have actually a link to a tutorial, which this is a good tutorial, and I will have this link at the bottom of the video so you can go and just brush up on your cascading style sheets. The last thing that I want to cover is JavaScript. Now JavaScript's a lot more complicated than HTML, and you need to understand HTML before you jump into JavaScript. But JavaScript is kind of this powerful thing. Like if you've ever seen on a website, it says, today is August 3rd, or it says the date and it's always the correct date, or it has things that are dynamic and update. This is done with JavaScript, and it can do some really powerful stuff. And if you're interested in learning about JavaScript, just do a Google search for JavaScript tutorials. I don't really recommend that you become an expert unless you really want to. It's not really necessary to get traffic to your website, but it's just something good to know about. Anyway, that covers this video for an overview of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.